How money really works. No one will ever explain this to you properly. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. You've been using money your entire life, but nobody ever taught you how it actually works. Not the school definition, not the boring textbook version. I'm talking about the real system. The invisible machine that decides who feels safe at night and who stays stressed forever. And here's the scary part. The people who understand this system are the same people who never explain it. Because the moment you understand the rules, you stop losing the game.
What money really is.
So let's start with a simple question. What is money? Most people say a medium of exchange, a store of value. That's not wrong, but it's not the truth either. Money is trust, nothing more. That paper in your wallet, those numbers in your bank app, they don't have value because they're special. They have value because we all agree they do. Fiat money isn't backed by gold, it's backed by belief. And the moment belief disappears, so does the money. When you get paid, you're not receiving wealth. You're receiving a promise, a claim on future value. If people stop trusting that promise, it vanishes instantly. That's illusion number one. The banking illusion. Now here's where things get interesting. You deposit money in a bank. Do you think it just sits there? It doesn't. The bank lends it out. And not just your money, they lend money that doesn't even exist yet. This is called fractional reserve banking. Banks are allowed to keep only a fraction of deposits and create new money digitally by issuing loans. Let that sink in. Most of the money in the system exists because someone is in debt. Your salary, your savings, your balance, all tied to someone else paying interest. If debts collapse, money disappears. That's not a theory, that's the system. Why debt must grow? Here's the part nobody likes to talk about. The system requires debt to grow. Why? Because every loan includes interest. If a bank creates $1 million at 5% interest, it creates $1 million, but demands $1,050,000 back. Where does the extra money come from? More loans, more debt, endless expansion. This isn't a flaw, it's the design. The system works best when people feel rich today and pay for it forever. The debt trap. And look around, debt is everywhere. Homes, cars, phones, credit cards. You're encouraged to consume first and worry later. Debt is time travel for pleasure. You feel successful now and spend decades paying for the feeling. But here's the real trap. Debt makes you obedient. When you're buried in payments, you can't take risks. You can't quit. You can't start. You can't breathe. You're not trapped by chains. You're trapped by comfort. Psychological control. The system doesn't just use math. It uses psychology, status, comparison, social pressure. You weren't born wanting luxury. You were trained to want it. And the system makes sure you can afford the image before you can afford the reality. Confusing fees, high interest rates, minimum payments designed to last forever. It's complicated on purpose. Because if you don't understand the system, you blame yourself. And people who blame themselves never challenge the rules. How the wealthy play. Now let me show you the other side. People who understand money play a completely different game. They use debt too, but not to consume. They borrow to build assets, businesses, property, investments. Their debt grows, but their assets grow faster. And here's the unfair advantage. Their interest is often tax deductible. They use the system's rules instead of fighting them. Same tool, different outcome. Debt enslaves one group, it enriches the other. The real power of compounding. This is where compounding shows its true power. Not on your credit card, on their investments. $10,000 invested at 10% becomes over $450,000 in 40 years. But here's the catch. You need free cash to invest. And the system ensures most people never have it. By the time they're debt-free, time is already gone. The math was never neutral. The truth that frees you. So here's the most important thing. Understanding this doesn't magically free you, but it does something better. It stops you from blaming yourself. And once you stop blaming yourself, you start making better choices. You don't need to look rich. You don't need to impress strangers. You don't need to consume what you can't afford. You may not escape the system, but you can stop playing it their way. Money was never evil, but ignorance is expensive. Now you know how money really works. The question is, what will you do with that knowledge? If this opened your eyes, subscribe to the Capitro Mind. Every week, we break down the hidden systems shaping your life. Because the more you understand the game, the better your chances of winning it. And the next video might be the one that changes everything.